name's Ellie and I'm Stitching Bee here on Flosstuber and also over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch, crafty bargains and bees. Today is a Flosstube extra and I'm going to be doing a finish parade of my 2024 FFOs and one finish. So today we have 26 projects to go through, 25 of them are FFOs or fully finished objects and one of them is a finish. So the first piece I don't actually have to hand, and like 12 other pieces which I have gifted I don't actually have to show you, so I'll put a picture up instead and hopefully you can still enjoy it. So this first one was a gift for my dad. It's called Swallows and is a Pako kit from 1994. It's stitched on 28 count white even weave with DMC threads. I started this on the 27th of December 2023 and finished it on the 4th of January 2024. Sorry, I'll be looking down at my notes for all the dates and information and things. So this piece I absolutely love. It always reminds me of home when the swallows come back after the winter and all sitting chatting on the telegraph lines and things. It's a really wholesome, lovely, family memory kind of piece. And I have finished this in a Picture Frames Express frame, and I would talk about them quite a lot probably throughout this video, so I'll tell you a little bit about them now. They are a UK based company and they design custom frames, and you get to pick exactly what frame you want, what size you want, if you want a single mount, a double mount, if you want to mount a tool, if you want a hanger or a stand, and if you want the glass or no glass, it's totally up to you. And then obviously the more bits you kind of add on, adds on to the price. But it's a really reasonable way to give that professional looking finish to a finished piece without having to pay the cost for a professional framer to do it. Of course, you are having to frame it yourself, which I don't mind doing at all, but it is a really good alternative and I highly recommend you check them out if you're interested in that. So that's finish number one. I keep saying finish, I mean fully finished. Project number two, I do have to hand. This is the one finish that I have, so it's not fully finished yet. This is a pattern called Snowdrop, and it is from the Floral Year in Cross Stitch book, and I'm participating in the Floral Year in Cross Stitch SAL, which I believe only Sue from Sue's Knots and Crosses has actually completed, but there's still quite a few of us hoping to complete it, I believe. So I've already stitched the cyclamen for autumn. This is the winter piece, and then I'm going to do the daffodil for spring, and then the rose or the sunflower, sorry, for summer. So there we go. So this is stitched on 28 count navy even weave with DMC threads, and I started this on the 7th of January 2024 and finished it on the 17th of January 2024. And I love how there's not many colours in it, but it looks really effective and very delicate. So that's the finish. FFO number 3 is called I Lava You and is a pattern from Crafty Smith UK on Etsy. It's stitched on purple hue 25 count even weave, which is hand dyed by me, and it's stitched with DMC thread. And hopefully I'll be dyeing some more fabric soon. I've got quite a lot of base fabric to use, so you'll be seeing more of my hand dyed fabric hopefully in the coming weeks. This piece was started on the 30th of January 2024 and finished on the 6th of February 2024, and was a gift for my sister for Valentine's Day, as we always like to give each other a little something to spread the sisterly love, and she was really delighted with it. So I finished this piece into a little pillow and have backed it with a gorgeous heart fabric that I had in my stash, and then used some 21st century yarns, chenille trim, that's all variegated, that I felt matched the piece perfectly to go around the edge. And yeah, it's really cute and it sits on her desk, so I'm glad she liked it. FFO number 4 is another one that was gifted, and this was to my friend, is the name of the pattern. It's by Yasmin's Made with Love and was a freebie when you bought something from her shop. It's stitched on 28 count navy even weave by Zygot, and you'll see that is probably my favourite fabric as most things are stitched on that, and it's stitched with DMC variegated thread 4210. I started it on the 16th of February 2024 and finished it on the 21st of February 2024. It was a bit trickier to FFO this one because the pillow is heart-shaped and I'd never done that before. It's really not perfect, but I'm happy enough with how it turned out. And again, I used a nice backing fabric and a 21st century yarn chenille trim to go around the edge. And I love their trims because they're very inexpensive, and the fact that they're variegated I feel just gives that extra kind of wow factor when you're FFOing something. FFO number 5 is called London, and again this was a gift from my sister as she lives in London now. It's from X Stitch by TA on Etsy and is stitched on a 28 count unknown even weave with DMC variegated 4240. I feel like the DMC threads, the variegated ones, are actually quite underrated. I use them a lot and I think they're just as effective as a lot of hand dyes are, and obviously a little bit cheaper. So definitely go and have a little play around with them if you have a few available, because there's so many gorgeous colours out there, and yeah, I'm excited to try more of them. I've got quite a few of the different range. So I started the London pattern on, I don't know exactly what day, but in July of 2022, and finished it on the 24th of February 2024. And this was really exciting because this was my first finish as a cross-stitch drum, which wasn't easy, but I followed Vonna Pfeiffer's tutorial and was really excited about how it turned out in the end. I've used a Liberty fabric on the top and the bottom to finish it off, and then used again a 21st century yarn chenille trim and a Hobbycraft lace to go around the top and the bottom as well. And yeah, I was really delighted with that one. It was a long project to work on because it is a skyline, and I did get a bit sick of it after a while, and hence why it took me quite a while to actually get around to finishing it, but it was worth it in the end. Right, project number 6 I do have to hand. This is Peter Rabbit. And this is an A2V brands kit, which is stitched on a 28 count Jobelan green even weave with with the kit thread, sorry. And I started this one on the 7th of March 2024 and finished it on the 10th of March 2024. And again, this was the first time I did this type of pillow finish with the fabric surrounding it, almost kind of framing it, and the matching fabric is on the back. When I do my pillows, I just leave a hole at the bottom and then sew it up once I've stuffed it. And I think it's so adorable. Look at his little face. I finished it with some cording, which again I've never done before, so I learnt to do this again with Vonna Pfeiffer's tutorial. If in doubt, check out Vonna Pfeiffer and she'll tell you everything you need to know about FFOing things. So yeah, I chose 2 different shades of blue just to give a slight variegated effect with the cording. And then the companion piece for that is Jemima Puddle Duck. You can see her there. Again, 28 count green Jobelan fabric, stitched with the kit threads, same finish, same fabric on the back, and then 2 different shades of pink to make the cording around the edge. And I believe these kits were sold in Sainsbury's, but I actually missed out on getting them, so I got the patterns from, well, I bought the kit from Vinted, I think, for this one, and the other one was off eBay. So I don't know if you can still get them or not, but I've not seen them myself. But definitely keep your eyes peeled on the secondhand market if you're interested in those. And if you go to Hobbycraft now, they have actually got some Beatrix Potter kits, so that might be an alternative if you can't find those ones. So I started that project on the 14th of March and finished it on the 17th of March 2024. My next piece was one of my favourites from 2024. This piece is called Blooming Swan, and it is by Pigeon Coop Designs. It's stitched on a 28 count purple hue even weave, which is hand dyed by me, and it's stitched with DMC thread. I started it on the 29th of February 2024 and finished it on the 3rd of April 2024. And I'll just zoom in to show you. So I was stitching this as part of the Blooming Swan Sal hashtag, and Quite a few of the other lovely ladies have finished them as well. And I just adore how she pops on this fabric and in this frame. So basically to finish her, I put some interfacing on and some wadding, and then laced her onto some mount board and sewed on the gorgeous pom-pom trim, which I've got from Hobbycraft. And then I got this tie-dye fabric, I think from a craft show, which I felt looked like water, and then glued it on to the backing board of the frame, and then stuck her on and finished it in a frame that's, I think, from the works. Just a plain white one. Absolutely adore all the fractionals in this piece. See all the detail there? Makes it so elegant and very, very pretty. And hopefully I'll be doing some more Pigeon Coop Designs ones in the future. Right, so FFO number 9 is called Helen Cows, or Helen Cows, and was part of the Mighty Wee Nation Sow, which I started with Alba Stitcher. I started this project on the 27th of January 2024 and finished it on the 14th of April 2024. It's stitched on, it's a textile heritage kit. It's 32 count unknown hand-dyed linen, and it's stitched with the kit threads. Look at their little faces. So sweet. I love the little thistles in the bottom there. So again, I finished this in a similar way. Put a bit of interfacing and wadding on, laced it onto mount board, made a flat fold finish as per Vonna Pfeiffer. And as you can see, it's kind of 2 pieces of mount board here with the fabric on, and then the same on the other side. It's got a bit of ribbon in between, and it's finished basically like a book at the top. And then it just stands up really nicely. And then again, made my own cording. You can see it there with 2 different shades of purple, which I felt kind of subtly complemented it. And then I used a YouTube tutorial of how to make a nice bow, and then bought that lovely button with the thistle on it, which corresponds with the thistles at the bottom there. So she sits proudly on display as well. Right, FFO number 10 is called Summer Flowers. This is a pattern by Dimensions and is stitched on 32 count white even weave with DMC thread. It was started on the 19th of April 2024 and finished on the 29th of April 2024. And again, I finished it in a very similar way. Instead I used paper this time as the backing statement piece. And I've got this frame from the charity shop, which I thought goes with it beautifully. Again, a bit of wadding and interfacing just to kind of puff it out a little bit, and then made my own cording. And I love the 2 cording one with just 2 very similar shades to give that variegated effect. Really beautiful. And then I finish all my pieces that I frame with my little Stitch and Bee sticker, and then some information about the project so I can remember when I finished it and who the designer was and things like that. And people in the future will know that I stitched it. Hopefully they'll get passed down. Next one is another piece which is over here, actually already on display. This is You Are Forever in My Heart by Shepherd's Bush. It's on 20 count oatmeal Ada, stitched with 3 strands over 2 of DMC thread. I started this on the 22nd of May 2024 and finished it on the 26th of May 2024. And I got this from Nimble Thimble. I believe you just bought the button and then you got the pattern for free. And I had been meaning to do it for ages and started it in Mania last year. And this was one of 2 projects that I actually finished after Mania. So there's a lovely button and the beautiful sheep. And it was actually really fun to stitch with 3 strands for a change. I really like that. Not something I would have necessarily thought to do, but that's what Chris had suggested. And I think it looks beautiful. So that's out for a kind of semi-Valentine's Day kind of display. So FFO number 12 is called Beehive House. and this is a Mill Hill kit on perforated paper, stitched with the DMC threads, although I have stitched with 2 strands rather than 3. And then if you can see there, it's got all the lovely beads on it as well, and that heart charm. Really, really gorgeous. Finished it with some velvet, sticky back velvet, which I just bought off Amazon, and then used the leftover beads, or some of the leftover beads, to make a beaded chain to hang it up. I started this on the 3rd of May 2024 and finished it on the 4th of June 2024. And it complements my other little bee gnome, which I did last year. Oops, there we go. So they hang together on a little tree that I've got. And I hope to do the rest in the series as well at some point. There we are. Next we have FFO number 13, and this is called Boobies. This is from Daily Cross Stitch on Etsy, and is stitched on a 32 count burgundy red even weave by Zweigart with DMC thread and the DMC glow in the dark for the ghosts. I started it in August of 2022 and finished it on the 9th of June 2024. It's just a fun little kind of jokey piece. And as I say, I love bees, so I have to have a Halloweeny bee project. Although I don't think the glow in the dark particularly works, but I think possibly you need to charge it under some light or something to get it to properly work, so I need to give that a go. Again, finished it into cross stitch pillow, used this lovely fabric on the back, and as you guessed, a 21st century yarn chenille yellow trim. And that sits out for Halloween. Next we have another one that I gifted. This is called Birthday Wishes by Doreen Jones, and this was from one of those little magazine extra books that you can get. I stitched it on 28 count white even weave with DMC thread, started it on the 18th of July 2024 and finished it on the 28th of July 2024, and this was gifted to my auntie for her 70th birthday, and she was really delighted to receive it. As you can see, I again mounted it, laced it the same way as I've said with all my other projects, and used a really nice cording around it and made it into a little hanger so she could hang it up all year round, and put a little, sewed on a little heart button as well to complete it, because there was some word in there that I didn't want to use, so I thought the button kind of filled that space quite nicely. Next one, again another little drum finish. This is called Summer Duo. This is a pattern by Yasmin's Made with Love, and I started this in July of 2024, the 10th of July, and finished it on the 30th of July, and just stitched part of the pattern. I used the hashtag Summer Duo Sal, and that's still active if you're interested in stitching along. It's on a 28 count Cirrus Chromatic Alchemy fabric with DMC threads. So as you can see, finished it as a lovely drum. I just did the top portion of the chart because I just felt it really complemented a drum finish. I'll just slowly spin it round for you there. And I love how the pink, well, how all the colours pop on this lovely fabric. And then I used a Liberty fabric for the top, and the same fabric for the bottom, the same lace trim from Hobbycraft that I used on the other drum, and then these gorgeous, you see them there, gorgeous pins from Puntini Puntini, which I thought were absolutely made for this project because they've got a pink flower, the beehive and a bee. But can't get better than that. So that sits proudly on my bedroom table. Love that one. I love them all, but that was one of my favourites. Right, piece number 16 is called Home Sweet Home, and that was stitched for my lovely, lovely friend Jess. It is a Doreen Jones chart and was originally found in World of Cross Stitch magazine, issue 309 of August 2022. I stitched it on a 32 count white even weave with DMC thread, started it on the 8th of August 2024 and finished it on the 17th of August 2024. And this was a housewarming gift for her. She just bought her first home. and I think she really likes it. It's really gorgeous colours. Again, finished it in a similar way to the Swan, but instead of using a frame, I bought this gorgeous little wooden house from Asda, which I believe is part of the Stacey Solomon range, and said something about home is where the paws are, or something kind of animal related. And I used some fabric, it's not fabric, some paper from either the Works or the range, one of those big pads of paper that you get all the gorgeous different patterns, and glued that onto it, onto the front and the back, and then stuck the piece on. And yeah, I went back to Asda to look for another house to see if I could do my own one, but sadly they'd sold out. So I don't know if they'll come back in stock or not, but I'll be keeping my eyes peeled, that's for sure. Right, FFO number 17 is called Autumn Love, and is by the Busy Bee Stitcher. See it there? It's stitched on 32 count sage green even weave with DMC thread. I started it on the 22nd of August 2024 and finished it on the same day. And it's a really gorgeous design. This is part of a bigger pattern that Charlotte has designed, but I just wanted to do a little finish of the hedgehogs. Again, used a gorgeous Liberty fabric for the back. Put some stuffing and walnut shells in to give a bit of weight to the pillow. And again, you guessed it, made my own cording with 2 different shades of pink. And that sits proudly on my display for autumn. Next one was another gift. This is number 18. This I entitled Wedding of Jenna and Stuart, as the picture suggests. It's by Kits by SA Stitch on Etsy. It's stitched with DMC thread on a 28 count white even weave. I started it on the 1st of September and finished it on the 12th of September 2024. And finished it just in a frame from the range, and just kept it simple because they just had quite a simple wedding, so it didn't really take very long, minimal colours, but I still think it's quite effective. Next piece is also a wedding piece, also a gift. This one is number 19. It's called Wedding Wreath, and it's by Pako Parigi on Etsy. It's stitched on a 32 count blush pink linen with DMC thread. I started it on the 19th of August 2024 and finished it on the 16th of October 2024. It was a very last minute finish, literally on the day of that wedding. But again, I got this gorgeous sage green frame from the range, which I felt complemented it perfectly. I could not have found a more perfect frame in my opinion. I just love how it all looks together. And yeah, there was a lot of stitching in those flowers, did take me quite a while, but I kind of just made it a focus piece and worked on nothing else for that time frame and managed to get it done in time, thankfully. And again, as I say, I write my information on the back, a little bit about the couple and the date and things, and yeah, hopefully it's a nice little memento for them to keep. Right, number 20 is over here. This is called Bewitching Pumpkin and is another Mill Hill kit, which is really lovely. You can see it glistening there already. So again, stitched this on the perforated paper, but it's black perforated paper with the DMC threads, and I stitched it 2/2 rather than 3/2. Gorgeous beads and backstitch detail. I started this on the 17th of October 2024 and finished it on the 20th of October 2024 because I was so sick of wedding stitching and just wanted something small and something vibrant, and I adore the colours and that's so pretty. Again, finished it with a lovely black velvet on the back and then used the black beads to make the hanger for it. Really lovely kit. All Mill Hill kits are lovely. Highly recommend if you've never tried one. Right, FFO number 24 is called Witchy Frog, and it's a pattern from Max Stitches Art on Etsy. It's stitched on a 32 count black even weave with DMC thread. I started it on the 20th of October 2024 and finished it on the 29th of October 2024. And this piece I wanted to finish onto a bottle, although trying to find a bottle that actually fitted it was a little bit difficult. It was a bigger pattern than I'd kind of anticipated, but this is one of the bottles from Hobbycraft in their Halloween range, and as you can see, he's so cute. And then I basically made this into a sleeve that fits very, very snugly onto the bottle, and then it's got the lovely bow on it. And if you'd have seen previous videos, my wonderful friend Hannah made some broomsticks that sit proudly on display in the bottle. Again, really quick stitch and an adorable finish for Halloween. Okay, next one is number 22. And is called Robin, which again was a gift from my mum's friend for her 60th birthday. It's a pattern from Fido Stitch Studio on eBay. It's stitched on a 28 count glass Murano blue even weave with DMC thread. I started it on the 26th of October 2024 and finished it on the 5th of November 2024. And I adore this one. I was quite sorry that I couldn't keep it myself, but again made it into a flat fold and used a lovely kind of wintry fabric because I hope that she'll have it up be able to have it up for longer rather than it just be too Christmassy. So she loves robins, and I think she was really, really delighted with it. So I'm so glad. Again, used actually the chenille trim this time was from Create Nostalgia. I've mentioned them in the past. They sell chenille trims for something like 62 pence. Different thicknesses you can get. This was a slightly thicker chenille trim that you can buy, and I thought the white kind of resembled snow and just made the finish pop a little bit more. Made it exactly like the Helen Cow finish, except it was obviously with the pattern was a bit squarer than the rectangular shape. So really delighted with that, and maybe I'll make one of those for myself in the future. Right, project number 23, FFO number 23 rather, is called A Wedding Tree. The final wedding cross stitch, and I'll be so glad I'm not doing any more for a long time. It's by Nikki Patton on Etsy. It's on 32 count forest green even weave with DMC thread 783. I started it on the 18th of September 2024 and finished it on the 27th of November 2024. And you will have seen this recently because I just showed it in my last video a couple of days ago. But here she is. So I won't spend too long showing you because I'm sure you will have just seen it on my last video. But I really love the monochromatic look and how it pops on that lovely green fabric. Again, this frame is from Picture Frames Express. Highly recommend them, as I've said before. And I felt the gold inner part really complemented the gold thread. So that will be going into the post to them shortly now I've completed this video. So I'll just whisk through these because you've seen them recently. This is called Two Bunnies, and it's a mouse loft kit, and originally sold by Hobbycraft. And it is on 28 count opalescent even weave for DMC thread. Jodie redesigns Vanity is the lovely pinky purple thread at the back here on the moon, and then DMC 4030 for the blue. This was a gift for my boyfriend for our anniversary. I started it on the 26th of November 24 and finished it on the 2nd of December. Made it into a heart snow globe. And I won't take it out because, again, if you're interested, if you watch my previous video, I'll show you how it actually works. But it's two bunnies and they're looking at the moon there, but I wanted to depict the bunnies looking at the northern lights. That's what me and my partner did earlier on in 2023 in the year. And so I've used a picture that he took of the northern lights and put that as the backing photo. And then when you shake it, get all the lovely hearts falling. Finished it with a little ribbon and a heart button. And that sits on his desk. Right, getting to the end note. FFO 25 is called Hannah's Robin, which again is shown recently. There she is again. Stitched on 32 count forest green evenweave. It's a works kit, although I've just stitched a robin from it and not the rest of the pattern. It's with the kit threads. I started it on the 20th of December and finished it on the same day. Made it into a cute little pillow. This gorgeous fabric from Hobbycraft, and you guessed it, 21st century yarns chenille trim all around the edge. And my friend really will be getting this shortly. Now I've shown it on all these videos, so that's really sweet. And finally, the last one is called Bell Ornament, and it is a Wonderland Crafts kit. It's stitched on a wooden bauble that was provided in the kit with the kit threads. I started it on the 9th of November 24 and finished it on the 21st of December 24. It's got so many beautiful beads, really twinkles in the light. It's got a lovely felt backing, and then I YouTubed how to make a nice hanging ribbon. So that just finishes it off. So that's the last one. So yeah, I'm really delighted with all those FFOs for 2024, and I hope to have even more in 2025. And yeah, there's lots of stitching to be done, and hopefully I'll get a lot of the whips that I started in 2023 finished, and I hope to FFO them in more weird and wonderful ways, because I love having the challenge of doing that and also having really different finishes all around our flat. It's really, really nice. So I'll put in a little compilation video now with a bit of music, you know, just nice and zen to finish the video off, to show you all my Instagram pictures of all the FFOs that I've just shown you, just in case you didn't see them clearly enough, or, you know, I just want to show you my Instagram pictures basically. So here's the slideshow now, so I'll just put that in. say now is thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'd really love to reach 1,000 subscribers at some point this year, if at all possible. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please hit that button. It really does make a world of difference and just gets my videos seen a little bit further across YouTube, and I hope more people can enjoy them. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back again maybe in a week or two to do my whip parade, which again will be a big job, but I've got plenty of projects to show you, so I'm looking forward to doing that. I hope you're looking after yourselves and are getting some good stitchy time in. So all that's left to be said is happy stitching, take care, bye for now.